Pump up your flat, your pool raft, or your football. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. We've got a fun one today. It's the RYOBI P737D. It's the OnePlus 18-volt high-pressure inflator. This little guy's supposed to go up to 150 PSI. Let's actually see how well it does, then we'll come back and talk about pricing and warranty on this. This is the RYOBI power inflator, runs off their 18-volt OnePlus platform. This goes from 0 to 150 PSI. Model number on this is the P737D as in David. We've got it paired with a 4 amp hour battery. I don't even believe you can buy this as a kit. This is just one of those kind of accessory items that it's great to have, whether it's personal or business or both. I know it gets used all the time here out of the shop as well as personally. One of the cool things is, number one, hose management. Tucks that hose away up there, clips out of the way so it's not dangling around and bothering you. Also, even like your pneumatic needles for going into your footballs and basketballs and things like that is right there. Also holds this little thread-on tool, and then even the one for like your pool rafts and things like that. Clips away but stays right there in the tool. So love to see those things clip in, because those are usually the first things that disappear when you buy some sort of inflator or pump or anything else. You're always looking for those needles, looking for these little tools right there. So it's great to have those on board. We also get a digital display here in the back. When I pull the trigger, you can see it light up. So that's going to give us kind of real-time PSI when we're airing up a tire. And as I mentioned, it goes all the way up to 150 PSI. Now, do I believe it? No, I don't know. That's a lot of pressure coming from this little tool here. Now, obviously, volume is going to be the big kicker, right? You know, can we air up a big tire? Let's find out and see. First, let's air up a few smaller things and just see what we think about this guy. Just to give you an idea, by the way, with that 4 amp hour battery on there, you're still under a foot tall. So a little over 11 inches, 11 1/4 inches with the battery on there. And forward the back looks like 7.5 inches. So not a huge tool, not tiny by any means, but being able to stow that away somewhere, throw it under a truck seat, again, just great to have. And by the way, when I tell you the price, you're going to want a couple of these probably. And let's get a weight on it. 2 pounds, 14.5 ounces. So just under 3 pounds for the tool and the 4 amp hour battery on there. Now you see the tool on the hose comes with the tire tool that goes on your typical Schrader valve. And you just put that on there and then clamp that down, and that depresses the little needle in there to collapse the Schrader valve and to be able to air it up. Pretty typical on bike pumps, things like that. Let's, first thing, we'll get this little guy. I'm going to, again, stick it in there and then pull this down. It's going to lock that into place. And it's been raining a lot lately, and the creek is up, so I got to get out my favorite raft. And let's go ahead and air this guy up. Okay, got my favorite raft blown up. So we know it does rafts. Now let's go see if it will do a tire. All right, we've got a Cadillac Escalade tire here that is totally flat. It is on the ground, sitting on our lift. And so we need to pump this up. What better time to use this? And by the way, we just got done pumping up the nice Hot Lips raft, and we didn't use any of the bars. In other words, it's still showing 4 bars on this 4 amp hour battery. So we'll go ahead and blow this up. We'll take it to 40 PSI. I think running pressure is 35, 36. We'll go ahead and take it to 40. Obviously, there's nothing in it. We'll actually show that here in one moment. There may be a few pounds, but it can't be much. Take out our pool float, pumper upper adapter, put that back in place. Clamp that on. Yeah, it's showing 0 PSI. And we'll go ahead and start this, and then we got a better idea this time. Rather than holding that trigger the whole time, I'm gonna put a couple of zip ties on it. And we'll speed it up too. The RYOBI high pressure inflator is pretty impressive, and it's very surprising that this little tool can do what it can do. Now, at the same time, this is not a high volume tool. It is high pressure, but that means we've got a little bitty piston in there providing that high pressure at really high speed, but it's not going to provide a lot of volume. That takes a big compressor to be able to do high PSI and high volume. So, blowing up that pool float took 4 or 5 minutes. Blowing up that tire up to 40 PSI and the volume of the complete tire, since it was 0, that took a little over 9 solid minutes. Now, the impressive thing is, if you were on the side of the road or in a parking lot and it was flat on the ground and you needed to pump it up, it could definitely do it. In fact, it did that flat tire and that pool float, and we've still got half a battery left. So, in a pinch, can it do what you need it to do? Yeah, absolutely. And that would be a great thing to have. And it's such a small tool, it'd easily tuck away somewhere under a seat, in a box, in one of your tool kits, whatever. Now, this guy is also only $25, but it's only sold as a bare tool. And quite frankly, that makes sense, because buying this as a kit, well, you'd probably be up there in the $150 range, which then is it worth it? I don't know. Maybe if that's what you're looking for. But as a $25 tool, if you're already invested in the RYOBI platform, that is an awesome tool to have. And hint, hint, any of you kids or wives out there looking for something for your father, husband, what have you, on Father's Day coming up, this is a great tool for that. Nobody's not going to like this, especially if you already have the batteries. 25 bucks on this. And by the way, speaking of batteries, right now they've got a kit on 2 4-amp-hour batteries and a charger for 99 bucks. So if you wanted to buy 2 batteries and a charger and this kit, you'd be at 125 bucks. So it's still a great and handy little tool. I just don't know if it's a $125 tool, but if you need the batteries, that's a great deal in itself as well. If you already have the batteries and want the tool, it's definitely worth 25 bucks. And you get a 3-year warranty with this also. Oh, and as it was pumping up for that long, that much PSI after running 9 minutes, this little guy right here got pretty hot, and the hose got pretty hot. So it's going to build some heat, and that's what happens when you're compressing air for that long with a little bitty piston doing that many, revolutions per minute. Hey, check it out again. It's the RYOBI P737D. Also, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and don't forget us on TikTok either. And if you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already? And by all means, if you hated our video, give us a thumbs down. but let us know in the comments why. Have a great day. Keep smiling.